If you're the bottleneck, you need to understand that. You need to understand where you are the bottleneck and then work out systems and processes and ways to enable and empower other people to take over the areas that you're the bottleneck so that your business grows. If you don't, it won't. Team, Josh here. Hope you are super, super well and having an awesome day. Today I want to talk to you about removing yourself as a bottleneck to growth in your business. And I want to talk to you about this in a number of different angles and lenses. And so today's training or today's video or today's episode is super relevant for you if you are feeling like you're the bottleneck to growth, if you're feeling like you get to the end of your days and your weeks and you've done nothing for yourself and everything for other people, and you know that too much stuff in your business comes through you and not enough people on your team, or you don't have enough people on your team are doing the things that they need to do to facilitate and sustain the growth of your business. So I guess if we take a step back, like this is a natural evolution of the growth of your business. Like if we go right back to square one, when you were a single business owner, you were doing everything yourself. Everything had to come through you. And like that's just a natural progression of you starting out on the business journey. And so we get very used to things all coming through us and us having to make all the decisions. But what happens is as we grow, and we bring on team, or we're potentially not bringing on team when we should to actually remove yourself as a bottleneck. And we'll talk about that in a second. But as you grow, we still, and this is part of the evolution of as a business owner, is there's this like, whether it's the ego part of us or not, we still, like, as when I say this, you'll get it. And you're like, yeah, that's totally me. There's a part of you that doesn't want to let go of the control. Like there's a part of you, whether it's ego or some other part of your personality, still loves, like a little bit loves the fact that everything still has to come through you. And whether that's from a perfectionist point of view, like you want to have a touch point on everything that happens in your business and make sure that everything is of high quality and perfect control, or whether there's like a little bit of like no one can do it as good as me, so I've just got to have the final check, or whether it's just simply I love being the man or the woman, and this is no disrespect, but some people it's just the different patterning that we all have. I love being the business owner, and I love that everything has to come through me. Which, by the way, if that's you, that is going to be your undoing if you love everything coming through you. So when we're the bottleneck, we are essentially hindering and stopping the growth of our business. I'll say that again. When we are the bottleneck, we are hindering the growth of our business. And so, regardless of what pattern is running you to be the bottleneck in your business, whether it's scarcity, not wanting to hire, through to all the things that we've just explored, if you want to grow, but you are the bottleneck, you're not going to until you remove yourself as that bottleneck. And so, when everything comes through us, like there's just chaos. When we are required for every decision in the business and everything has to come through us, what happens is, and like part of the patterning that we haven't talked about is a strong people pleasing part of your personality. Like if everything comes through you and you've got a strong people pleasing part of your personality, you are always going to put the needs of others, your team, your client, and the people around you ahead of the needs of your own, through the guise of, oh, well, I've just got to keep that project going because, my team member needs me there. It's only going to be 10 minutes. So that person, I'm just going to answer that question or go and see them, just keep them moving. And, oh, here's a phone call from a client. I'm just going to answer that because they need me. And I'm just going to keep that going. And then I'm going to get back to like the high value stuff that I know I need to do today. Oh, I'm just going to, and so that just keeps happening throughout your days and your weeks where it's like when everything comes through you, and you haven't empowered other people around you to make decisions for themselves and make decisions on behalf of you and the business. When everything comes through you and you've got that strong people pleasing part of you, which is I've just got to keep everyone else going before I can then work on my stuff. You know what happens? Burnout. And you know what happens? You start to resent your business and you start to resent and get frustrated with people around you. Oh, why can't that person just leave me alone? God, that client's calling again. Far out, they're needy. and you start to get angry and resentful, but it's actually a creation of our own doing. So whenever there is something happening in your world, it doesn't matter whether you're a business owner, as a person, whenever there is something happening in your world that doesn't serve you, you have to first look at yourself and go, where have I created that? Where have I facilitated and enabled this to be happening? And how has it got so far down the track? So when we can take that complete and extreme personal ownership around the fact that we are the creators of everything that happens in our life, and there's stuff that we can't influence, but we can control our reaction to it and how we act and operate, behave. When you can take that ownership around how have I contributed to this? How have I enabled this? And then take ownership and then action to change it, that's when true results will happen. So when only everything runs through you and you've got this strong people pleasing part of your personality running the show, you know, you're never going to get to the high value stuff that you need to. And that's just a fact. You're never going to get to it. So what I want to talk through today is like tools and strategies and techniques to start to remove yourself as a bottleneck in your business. And it starts with getting better at setting boundaries. So talking to a client about this today, it's like if you turn up to the office or, you log on, and as soon as from the time that you turn up to the time that you leave or log off, you are being peppered with questions and emails and calls from your team and your people around you. It's a sign that you've set that up, you've created that, you've enabled that through your past behavior, that use your words, Josh, you're available 24/7, and then people can contact you 24/7 because you've set that up. So then it's about you undoing that or starting to set some boundaries. As I said to my client today, what you can do is like first up in the morning and the last thing in the afternoon, block out time in your calendar. So there's two things here. We want to address the psychology, which is like if it's a strong people pleasing part of your personality, or you've got like the ego wanting everything to run through you, or you don't want to let go, and like you've got a strong perfectionist and you can't trust other people. We've got to address mindset. We've got to address your psychology and what's undermining you here. But we've also got to have like tangible and practical tools and strategies and techniques to actually help you change. And this is the pattern interrupt stuff that I talked to my client about today. So, like as a functional thing, block out time, morning and afternoon, 8 till 9, 4 till 5, or 7:30 to 8:30, or 8:30 to 9:30, like an hour in the morning that's your time. You don't open your Teams, you don't open your computer, or maybe you open your computer, but you don't turn your emails on, phone on silent, face down so you can't see people calling you. If you're in the office, go to a quiet room or go to a local cafe or somewhere, or don't come to the office. Spend your morning setting the day up right. Spend the morning working on your 3 big rocks for the day. And so what I encourage you to do is the night before or the afternoon before, this is what I did today. And these are the 3 big things that I need to do in the morning. Or when you get in, these are the 3 big things I need to do tomorrow. Or when you get into the office or open up your computer in the morning, first thing you do is these are my 3 big rocks for today. And spend that morning time slot completely uninterrupted working on your 3 big rocks, getting them done and knocked off, so that when you are then available for the rest of the team, available for the rest of the day for your team and your clients, you're not sitting there going, oh, this person's, stopping me from getting that done. Or, oh, this is so annoying. I've got to get that done. You are there, you are present, you are available for your team and your clients because you've had the morning to yourself to get your stuff done. So you got to be strategic about your day. What do I need to get done today that's important for the business? Big picture, big rock stuff. Set that up and do it in the morning. And then you've got the rest of your day available for that. So use your calendar to help you here. And then if you can, an hour in the afternoon, catching up on the day, answering emails, calls, that sort of stuff, whatever you need to do to kind of catch up on the day. And again, this is time blocked out on your calendar. So this is your time that meetings can't be blocked out over the top of to catch up on the day. And then you're setting your stuff for the next day. And then the rest of the time you're available. So if a phone call comes, like, so my client was like, oh, but I feel bad about like not being there to answer a call from my client. I'm like, you have to start getting better at setting boundaries. Like if your client calls you at 8:30 or 9 in the morning and you call them back at 10 or 10:30, like that's fine. Like there's no issue with that calling your client back an hour later. If it's 4 days later, that's an issue. But you need your time and your days for you. So that's how you remove yourself as the bottleneck in your business. High value time for yourself in morning and afternoons, and then allowing yourself to then be there, free from the burden of having to get your big rocks done because they're already done. Be there for your team and your business and your clients. The other thing you can do is then there's a delegation piece. So then it's about empowering your leadership team around you or empowering people around you and letting go of that perfectionist trait and explaining stuff to them and trusting them. Go and do that. No, I believe in you. We've talked through this enough. I believe in you. Go and do that. And not micromanaging them. The more that you can empower the people around you to take ownership and to take responsibility and not micromanage them. And if they come back to you with questions, if it's a silly question, it's like, come on, you kind of know the answer to that. I'll let you work that out for yourself. And if you're still really stuck, come and see me. If it's a legit question, help them move forward. But it's about empowering other people to empower themselves. And the other thing is like, we need the pattern interrupt. So I encourage my client to set reminders on their phone throughout the day, which is like just, a little alarm that goes off 2 or 3 times a day, which just says, am I doing what I need to be doing right now? Or is what I'm doing right now the best use of my time? Or just like a little alarm that goes off that gets you out of that routine behavior and into, is what I'm doing right now the best use of my time? So team, you have to remove yourself as a bottleneck to growth. And there's so many other things that we could talk about here, but these are the main things that I've just covered with my client in a coaching session. So if you're the bottleneck, you need to understand that. You need to understand where you are the bottleneck and then work out systems and processes and ways to enable and empower other people to take over the areas that you're the bottleneck so that your business grows. If you don't, it won't. So team, that's all I wanted to cover today. If you want to keep doing this journey on your own, we have tons of free resources for you to keep doing the journey on your own. But if you want some help, if you want some coaching, if you want some guidance, and you want to join an incredible community of business owners, I'd love to invite you to join our boardroom coaching program. So if that's you, please reach out, shoot me an email, text, call with the word boardroom. Let's have a chat about how I can help you build your business faster. Have an awesome day.